Welcome to Nature's Sanctuary Sunday Service, brought to you by the Church of Nature. Join us every Sunday for a powerful and beautiful eco-spiritual service where we honor and support ourselves through the reflection of nature. We're here to help you grow every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern on natureschannel.fm.
Welcome to Nature's Sanctuary Sunday Service. I'm Sandra Oberdorfer, priestess in training for the Church of Nature, and our reflection today is on bamboo. The Church of Nature honors the individual and encourages a deeper conscious connection to the self through the reflection of nature and all that it offers. It is time for humanity to reawaken to the divine that is nature. Nature is spirit, and we are nature. When we reflect on nature and connect with it more deeply, we align with our own spirit, and when we do, life flows. We're going to start with our invocation. I sit at the gate before the great mystery, between darkness and light, guiding your passage into the depth of reality. The door is open for those who choose to walk through. Bless this space. We come here today with open minds, open hearts, and open hands, willing to give and to receive. Now, if we can all just ground here for a moment, we'll begin. So if you're sitting in a place where you can sit with your feet flat on the floor and close your eyes, then let's do so. Take a deep breath and let it out. Now, let's allow roots to grow from your feet down into the ground to connect with the earth. And now let's allow roots to grow from the top of the crown up into your own source of divine wisdom. And allow a beam of light from your tailbone up through your spine to the top of that crown. And just bring everything into alignment. From your center, allow light to beam out. Okay. I'm going to say the affirmation that we are nature. I am. I am the sun. I am the moon. I am the dirt beneath my feet. I am the stars in the universe. I am the dark of night. I am the tree and the wind that blows its leaves. I am the ocean. I am the rain. I am the desert and the mountain and the plain. I am the bird, the fox, the turtle, and the bee. I am. Today's reflection is on bamboo. It's a reflection on strength, flexibility, and adaptability. And I'm speaking today from my hometown in Portland, Oregon, where we've seen record snowfall this year. During the most recent snowstorm, we received over a foot of snow, which lingered for several days before another freezing rainstorm arrived to cover everything in ice. Schools shut down, businesses closed, and the pace of everything just slowed down. I watched in admiration as the bamboo in my side yard bowed under the weight of the snow, only to get further bound to the ground under the dripping ice. The bamboo limbs were circled over upon themselves with their tips frozen to the ground, only to spring back upright after the ice began to thaw. And here's a quick thing about snow before we talk more about bamboo. In this instance, it's worthwhile here to consider how snow is really pure in potential. The snow that falls today becomes our water source in the future. So we may only feel its weight today or its enormity, but come summertime, we'll be grateful for the snow melt that feeds our rivers. And when I was looking at the bamboo, I never doubted that the bamboo would be fine. I know they are perfectly suited to bend to the ground. Nonetheless, it was pretty impressive to behold. It's like watching a ballerina or a gymnast, only the bamboo doesn't have years of training and discipline to shape its response. The bamboo just did what it was naturally built to do, and it was elegant. I'd wondered if the roots would freeze to death, but they didn't. Now with the ice and snow nearly all melted away, with the exception of just one broken shoot, the rest of our bamboo is back to normal as if nothing had ever happened. Now, bamboo are common plants in this area, even though they are only rather begrudgingly tolerated. Bamboo are among the fastest growing plants on the planet, and with their rhizome structure the way that it is, some types allow them to send out underground shoots to unexpected areas. So the debate goes on in North America about whether bamboo ought to be tolerated, celebrated, or eradicated as an invasive, non-native species. But what everyone agrees upon, however, is the tenacity of bamboo to not only survive, but to thrive against everyone's expectations. And it's strong, but not strong in a rigid sort of way. Bamboo is strong precisely because it can move and it can bend. It is its flexibility that makes it such a hardy survivor. I suppose the combination of bamboo's flexibility, endurance, and adaptability that has me thinking about the symbolic energy that we can bring into our daily lives as we collectively move forward. When we feel weighed down by circumstances, by rigid systems, or by heavy responsibilities where we might not be able yet to see the bigger picture, we can still trust ourselves and react to our challenges with flexibility, patience, and creativity. A part of a bamboo's flexibility is due to its hollow center. There's nothing inside a bamboo to crush if it bends over. There's nothing to damage, and therefore it is only the outer tube that needs to bend. It is this hollowness which provides the ability for bamboo to flex, even in windstorms. And I know for myself, when I'm filled up with anxieties or with fears or with unrealistic expectations, I can lose sight of what I need to do in the present moment. When I'm filled with worry, I lose sight of the fact that windstorms end and snow eventually melts. The future brings these changes, as do the seasons. My only job is to be present and flexible in the moment. In time, I can bounce back. That is, if I maintain a center that is open to it. Now, like aspen trees, bamboo reproduce through sending out new shoots as clones of themselves. The system is therefore rather invisible from above ground. The roots provide stability to the soil, which allows bamboo the support to sway above ground in the wind. Without the strength of its roots, the bamboo wouldn't be able to be as flexible. We live in a time right now when we are at our best when we remember that we can reach out and find communities that support and nurture us. We are at our best when we remember our roots. Something I didn't know about bamboo until recently was that they don't flower very often, but when they do, they flower as a large group. All the shoots flower at once, and they call this a mass flowering. This type of flowering is rare and connected to the life cycle of the plant. And it's so rare that it only occurs every 65 to 120 years or so. I like to think that what we witnessed last Saturday around the world at various marches in support of women is also a sort of mass flowering. We saw millions of people gather together peacefully in support of each other, in support of finding a different way of being in the world. A creative way of being in the world. We did this in support of a return to a natural flow that supports women. We've lived long enough under the weight of what holds us down, and the will is there to spring back up and into bloom. We've bowed long enough under our own potential, And now together as the snow melts, we've opted to flower. Organic life in all its forms has a way of surviving and sometimes even thriving despite humanity's darkest attempts at controlling it. We bow, we flex, we adapt, but we don't break. It just isn't in our nature. The life that is within us isn't a weed that needs to be plucked or sprayed or controlled by mankind, nor barely tolerated as an invasive species. It just is. We just are. We're here and we're blooming as a part of that life cycle. The energy of the sacred feminine perhaps had been driven underground for a long time, yet this has allowed a strong root system to take hold and to strengthen the soil of our intention. While on the surface we've bowed to our own potential with flexibility, strength, and endurance against the steepest of odds. So, for this week, consider what weighs you down and look at it for a while. Really pull apart the layers and see what you find. Upon further inspection, can you find some aspect of that weight that can also be seen as full of potential for the future? Is the burden only a back-breaking obstacle, or is it like the snow that eventually melts and becomes your own nourishing water supply? And when that snow melts and you do spring back into form, what shape will that be? If there were some parts of you that didn't make it through the storm, if parts do feel broken by the wind, how will you let those branches go in order to continue growing in your core strength? When spring comes, what will you keep and what will you let go of because it simply is not needed anymore? So your ripple opportunity for this week is to practice internal flexibility. In what manner can you bend in humility to your own potential and your own challenges with the full assurance that when the time is right, you'll spring back to your full height? Think of one specific instance when you have utilized your own internal strength and you accessed an extra amount of creativity in order to live through a challenge. Think of how you could nurture yourself through a similar challenge if it were to recur. And in all this, take a moment, breathe in your strength, and with your exhale, bow down to your own adaptability and your own potential to grow. Now we'll be saying our invocation of peace. I stand with palms raised to the sky, open to both giving and receiving. Peace is in me. Peace is around me. Peace begins with me. I ask to be the channel through which peace flows, bringing peace to myself, my life, and to all who share my life. I see peace, I breathe peace, I live peace, I am peace. We ask that giving be a blessing and not a burden, that we see the abundance and unlimitedness of the universe. We ask to live with open hearts and open hands, and in so doing, allow the energy of support and love to flow freely to us and from us. We acknowledge that to receive, we must give, and to give, we must receive. We make our offerings to the Church of Nature today with open hearts and open hands and invest in the eternal cycle of energy flow. Our offerings recognize the gifts and blessings of this service. Now this is the time to honor, celebrate, and remember in the Circle of Life celebration. Life is a circle whose beginning touches its end. I'm here to learn and grow. The path of my life belongs to me. I take this moment to affirm the way in which I want my life to flow. I'm grateful for all that I have and all that I am. I thank my body for all that it does for me. I thank my mind for its power of thought. I thank my ego for its will and drive. And I thank my spirit for its patience and guidance. Let's take a moment to clear out anything that the reflection brought up for you today. And we'll plant our seeds of intention for the week. Take the moment to think of what it is you want to manifest for the week. Plant it in the soil and offer it up to Spirit. And we'll end here with our closing prayer. I give thanks for this time and space, knowing that this is a place to focus my intention, but not where my intention ends. It is my opportunity to carry my choices out into the world. Let me walk my path with strength and knowingness, with grace and ease. Let me walk my path with love and abundance. And let me listen when my spirit speaks. Let nature be my guide. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today for Nature's Sanctuary Sunday service. We hope today's reflection will support you in navigating your week ahead. Please remember to live with an open hand and an open heart. The effects are exponentially rewarding. If you haven't made your offering to the Church of Nature, be sure to visit thechurchofnature.org to contribute. While you're there, you'll also find daily inspirations, as well as past Nature's Sanctuary Sunday services. We look forward to having you join us again next week. And until then, remember, let nature be your guide.